this winter. We are in reasonably good health in terms of storage, in fact, very good health in terms of storage. The weather has been friendly so far. I think the way we're looking at it is if you look at the fundamentals, the real risk is probably next winter. We sometimes forget that Russian supply to Europe over calendar year 2022 has been in steady decline, and we're now at the bottom probably. And if we assume it stays at that level, Europe needs an additional 40 BCM, 45 BCM to replace the Russian gas that was supplied in 2022, but we wouldn't expect to be supplied in 2023. And that basically has to be LNG. That then brings into question whether you are building enough new regas fast enough to meet that difference, or whether you can optimize further use of the interconnector with the UK and so on. 40 BCM is about what net increased LNG supply we might expect this year if you include the Freeport coming back. So the signals are that the market should remain extremely tight, and the sensitivity to the risk factors will probably increase rather than decrease. And those risk factors are weather, number one. So far, so good this winter, but it's not just weather in Europe, it's also weather in North Asia. As we know, that becomes the competitive dynamic. And it's the reliability and availability of that LNG supply. So not having another Freeport or an equivalent where you get a disruptive supply. And you still also need all that regas to be built and for its utilization to be fairly optimal to be able to get there. And that's still looking at Europe as a continent. The risk is different in different countries, because what you also start to get into is the constraints within the pipeline network, which was not designed to deliver gas from north and west, south and east. It was designed to do the opposite. So the risk to certain countries, or certain countries will be more exposed to risk, and I think the risk through the coming 12 to 15 months probably increases. I think the thing to watch, and a way of thinking about it, is basically how much gas is there in store when we get out of this winter. If that number's too low, it's almost impossible to imagine a way in which storage could then be back up to the kind of levels that governments and the EU want it to be at by this time next year.